just made it out to the new KSTYLE Garage. They just moved literally today, and as you saw, I brought some side skirts as well as the wheels that we have for my 280ZX project that I'm doing with my dad. So let's go grab Cisco and get all the stuff over there. All right, we're here with the man himself, Cisco of KSTYLE. We're gonna talk a little bit about the wheels that I brought as well as the skirts that we're gonna have modified. So Cisco, I brought you some SSR MK.3s.
OG wheels.
Yeah, super OG wheels. These are for my dad's DATSUN 280ZX project that is also on my channel. But really quick, will you just run down what we're gonna have done to these wheels?
So, you know, basically simple thing, take the tire off, unbolt all the bolts. Hopefully none are too rusty to where we have to replace them. Take them apart and then have these as cleaned up as much as possible. Get them, you know, freshly done with whatever color you want. I don't think you've told me yet.
No, we haven't really decided yet. We were thinking like a hyper silver just because the car is like a really dark green, but with the gold rollers on there, I don't know, I'm gonna have to ask my dad what color we want because the gold actually looks pretty cool. Nice. But in terms of like rebuilding wheels, since these are like a three-piece sandwich face, they should be pretty easy to pull apart.
Yep. I think this is the most easiest to do because they literally just fall apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, just give these a nice polish. Make sure there's no scratches. It doesn't seem like there's any curb rush, so it should be pretty fair, pretty easy.
So I also brought the GS300 skirts that I bought from Frankie over because Mari, she does all the fiberglass work for KSTYLE. She's a little camera shy right now, which is okay. We're gonna see her in a little bit, but we are gonna get these skirts modified. We just talked a little bit about what we wanted to do to them. There's like a little bit of a lip on them that we're just gonna shave off and then extend a lip. This thing should sit super flat. So you guys just moved into a brand new shop. Yeah. You know, you guys were out in
We're out in Canada, on basically the other side of Dallas, which was a hassle because, you know, it takes an hour just to drive from Dallas to Dallas.
Yeah, that's true. But you guys are now located where?
In Garland. We're in Garland, so super close to us. Really cool spot. You know, we finally have AC inside the shop, so we'll be a lot more comfortable. Ready to build some wheels.
Cool. Let's go on in.
Go. You can see the struggle. So we basically moved over here just because it's a lot more comfortable than being all the way on the other side of town. You know, this space has an AC. We got a big ass fan, so way more comfortable than being out in the heat just in the garage. Yeah, this is kind of what we do. We love to rebuild wheels because we love helping people achieve what they want, like with their specs, with their dream builds, stuff like that. We also do a little bit of fiberglass. Like for example, here my girlfriend's removing some emblems, you know, making the trunk basically flat. We also install coilovers and stuff, help people, like I said, get the fitment they want with their builds. We're honestly just here to help people. It's really our main goal is here.
Yeah. So how can everybody contact you in DFW to get a hold of your shop?
Our page is on Instagram is KSTYLE Garage. You can contact us for any work that you might need. We also do low car tows. You know, we try to help people with, you know, if they ever break down or anything, we try to be reasonable with our prices. You know, I know a lot of people don't really trust, you know, just strangers, especially people that won't take care of their cars, but you know, we'll take care of you. So yeah, for tow, for suspension, for fiberglass work, wheels, anything, we're here to help.
Awesome. Well, it was super nice getting to chat with you about the new shop space. We're going to be leaving these SSRs here, and we'll be coming back another day with the side skirts. So this is Mari.
Hello.
She is going to be doing the fiberglass on the side skirts that I brought, and I just wanted to quickly ask her how she's going to get that done.
Honestly, we're just going to cut and fit as much as we want and however we can to the rocker panel. Honestly, it's just a lot of cutting and fitting back and forth, but other than that, yeah, we're gonna see how it goes from there.
It'll be sweet. I mean, the side skirts already like pretty much fit like rocker to rocker, which is really good. They don't really need to be lengthened or shortened that much. They are like a little, you know, kinked in the middle, so like they will get cut and then re-fiberglass so that way they're straight. But I know she's gonna do a great job. I'm gonna have to leave the car with her when that gets done because, you know, because we're gonna be cutting everything and just making sure that it works. the car needs to be here. I can't just leave it to her and have her fly blind.
Yeah.
Now we're back home. It's always great seeing the K-Style crew, super down-to-earth people doing awesome work here in Dallas. But now let's take a look at putting the rear coilovers on. Okay, we've got a very simple divorced shock and strut setup. There's a top bolt here which comes out really easily, but down here the bolt threads in this way towards the outside of the car, and that guy is just seized in place inside of the carrier on the strut, which is not great because that means it does not want to come out. The spring, on the other hand, super easy to get out. Should be able to just wiggle it out and then unbolt what is keeping the little bump stop in place. Now my gut tells me to hit this guy with the blowtorch, but the fuel tank is right here, so I need to be very careful when trying to heat all this up. After a lot of heating, I was able to get the bolt to break free. I have a pair of vise on the sleeve for the old shock. I was finally able to get this thing loose. All right, I am supporting the axle with a jack. It's kind of dark, so you can't really see it, but here is the 40-year-old strut in question. I was able to compress it by hand after lowering the axle with the jack, and it just came straight out. Obviously, there is a difference in the height of the shock. This one is a little bit more compressed when the car is on the ground, so I'm just going to leave these at their height and install it. Now I can't forget to take out the factory cut spring that's in there. Let me do that real fast. Now the chopped spring came out pretty easily. It took the stud with it, which is okay for the mounting section, but it's almost like BC thought of that and gave us a new bolt with a nut on top. Now I have been told by a few people on the forums to get low, you need to not run the collars and just run this top section with this little seat ring. So we're gonna try that at a later date. I just want to get this car on the ground tonight, mainly because it's a lot later than I anticipated. I'm only going to be able to get this one side done tonight, which is okay. I mean, it's an old car, it's gonna put up a fight, but we're gonna throw that shock in. So here we go. There is the strut. There is the new spring. It's definitely a little harder to tell. I didn't adjust the BCs at all before putting them on. I just stuck them on. I didn't adjust the dampening or anything. So this is the side. I'm touching the very, very top of the sipe. Let's check the other side. Might be a little harder to see, but you know, that side, the side we just put the BC on, is a tad taller than the cut spring side, which, I mean, I have adjustment now, so it doesn't really matter in the long run. That being said, though, this side took a lot longer than I was anticipating, so I'm only going to be able to complete this side tonight. We will pick up the camera once the other side has been installed. Okay, it's the next day, and I have a couple of updates for you. The first being that I got the other side's coilover setup installed. The second being that I took the rear sway bar out. I was told and read that a bunch of drift guys don't run a rear sway bar, which makes sense, so that guy is out. And lastly, I decided to take the tow hitch off the car. Now that's something that a couple of people asked me about, and I remember looking at it a couple of times and I was like, oh, it has a little bit of rust, I might not use it. I'm glad I didn't use it. Look at this. So this thing weighs like 40 pounds, and I set it down, and all of this right here just disintegrated. This side right here already had a little bit, but I set it down, and it just keeps crumbling and crumbling. Like, look at all this. This is all mostly rust. There's like some leaves over here, but look at all this. This is crazy. You know, this is like bolted directly into the frame. So if I had put one of those little baskets on the back like I had planned to, 100%, if there was too much weight, it could have twisted the frame. Thankfully though, we got that off the car and we didn't do any damage. Now let's get the car on the ground and see how the rear feels. This is not bad. It's not like resisting me that much. Feels pretty good. What really matters though is how it drives. I would call that a mission success. The brick feels incredible in the back. No sway bar on the coilovers really made that much of a difference. The front is still bouncy, but we're gonna get the fronts done in due time with Ben from Boostworks. But now the car is super easy to slide. I'm not gonna say that was me or not, because it definitely wasn't, but we're gonna wrap up this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everybody that stays till the end. Make sure to drop a like while you're here and leave a comment so I can read it and respond to it. I really enjoy seeing comments and responding to them. It keeps me engaged with everybody that watches. And if you have any suggestions for me, also leave it down in the comments. That'd be greatly appreciated. But again, thank you for watching. See you next time.